Hello, my dear friends. Today we're gonna have a very special, very intriguing topic. I've been postponing this video until I feel at most to share, and I can't wait to share you everything I know because many years ago, when I had my first encounters with my first representatives of soul family, so-called kindred souls, soulmates, karmic partners, etc. Back then, it was circa 2015-16. There was not that much information online about it. And I was literally thinking that I'm going crazy. I didn't know what's happening to me. I had no idea about our sublime bodies, our ethereal body, astral body, mental body. I had none of those knowledge. I was briefly interested in certain spiritual practices, yoga, meditation, esoterics. I used to love crystals. That's all, you know. My knowledge went as far as that. And of course, I still was interested in astrology, but I wasn't professional as I am right now. I was just truly fascinated by the subject, but I did not have the knowledge. I did not go to school back then yet. A lot of you guys message me on the daily about your experiences, and a lot of you guys are asking this popular term, look at my partner, is it my twin flame? Twin flame is a very rare occasion. It's a very rare case scenario. People do meet their twin flames, and I'm going to start with them. But I just want to emphasize the majority of you who think that you met your twin flame, it's actually your karmic partner. Why? Because twin flames are souls that come together only for a specific mission, only for a specific quest, when both of them are whole. Although the name twin kind of corresponds to the fact that you have to have somebody like you on the other side who is your counterpart, and together you make whole, but you have to be whole yourself in order to meet your twin flame, and those encounters are extremely rare, but those are happening on earth only when people are fully ready, only when they both have super important mission to fulfill, when they may be helping masses of people to awaken, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands of other people. One of those examples would be, let's say, archangels. Every archangel actually had their twin flame, which is has another name of archeia, like Archangel Michael, Raphael, Gabriel. All of those, they all had their twin flame. Together, they were helping the ascension of humanity. They were doing some protective works on this plane. So the term twin flame kind of creates this aura of a fantasy that there's this ideal part of me existing in another human body somewhere on earth, somewhere someday we're going to meet together and we're going to have the Disney princess movie. A lot of people get twisted on this idea because everybody dreams about beautiful love story, but not everybody has that. Unfortunately, that beautiful fairy tale that you fantasize about turned out to be a nightmare for a lot of us. And the twin flame idea has that it has the base about like the foundation why it's established. This whole thing does exist, but like I said, it's so rare. The majority of people, they have the wishful thinking. And now I'm going to drop down from twin flames, from meeting your twin to meeting your karmic partners. Let's start with the karmic partners. Karmic partners, it's a very tricky encounter. A lot of us, when we meet karmic partner, at first we experience, like with all those connections that this video is going to be about, we experience a super strong, gigantic magnetism that we cannot explain. It's as if, let's say, we walk in the room and there are 10 people or 15 or 20 or 30 or more people, but that one person we're going to be attracted to as if we had a magnet inside of us, and they would feel exactly the same. It's always reciprocated, it's always strong, it's always both people kind of acknowledge each other. They want to talk to each other. Oftentimes, the karmic partnership meet under the very interesting, unusual circumstances, which already kind of has that aura of magnetism and magic around it, which makes people wanna get to know each other. Like they're like curious, like I never met anyone like that. What is that about that person? Karma from Sanskrit means action, right? Karmic partners are designed to make us start working on ourselves. It's like a mirror. It's like we meet somebody who is just like us, very different in a lot of ways, which makes us more attracted to each other, but very similar in a lot of ways. But it's slightly different. For example, if the man is very angry by nature, he's like has some anger issues. He's hot tempered. He can get mad very quickly. He can, like, I don't know, crush things. Hit the wall in a heated argument, throw the dishes and stuff. Then a woman, on the other hand, she can be having the feature of holding the grudge. She can be very quiet, but she will be accumulating the grudge like a snake accumulates the poison, and then she will become passive aggressive. So one part is aggressive, another thing is passive aggressive, but they're all exactly the same. They're just manifesting in a different quality, masculine or feminine. Is just an example. Karmic partnerships are always dramatic. They're always hard. They're always full of pain. They're always full of tears. They're always full of drama. Oftentimes people come to consultations for many, many years and they still have that same old love that they can't let go. They still have the same broken record. That same guy or that same woman, or maybe they even become married eventually. The paradox is that to be together it's awful, but to be separate is also awful. And nobody said it's going to be easy. One of the hardest karmic relationship actually are a relationship between parents and children. You cannot abandon them. You cannot run away from them. You have to be together for at least amount of time, like for a certain amount of years and stuff, until you learn how to live on your own. Let's say if you're a child. And oftentimes a relationship between the very closest people are the hardest ones to bear. It happens because we have no idea what kind of actions we committed in our past lives. So this life is very common that we're in a form of that partner with whom we have that crazy, crazy magnetism. We met nobody but our ex-husband or ex-wife from past lives. That's why the familiarity is so strange. It's so to the point, it's like you meet the stranger, but you feel like you've known him or her forever. And that's the tricky part. The only way for the souls to start actually going through karmic lessons and actually acknowledging that there is something that needs to be done, some ego work, shadow work has to be done in order to proceed further and upgrade, like a new version of the new device, upgraded new version of you. You have to go through some bullshit. Nobody wants to go and clean that scary basement with loads of spider web. It's a lot of trash and old stuff down there. Nobody wants to do that, but that's what the inner work is about. That's why all these karmic partnerships are so hard in nature, because at the beginning the scenario is like this. You look like somebody looks like that magnetic attractive candy with a nice wrapping on it, with a nice ribbon on it, like a gift. You feel like, oh my god, this person is so amazing. I never met nobody like that. But that's the first step to drag you in. Once you start actually getting to know that person, maybe years down the line, you realize that there are certain features of his character or hers that you cannot be with. It's unbearable to you. Oftentimes those love stories turn to drama, where there's many, like when you watch a TV show, there's many, 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 many seasons, and every season has the episode, and here you are. Season 10, episode 15, you're still on the same old track. The good news is that the karmic relationships are going to continue. They're not forever. There's also an expiration date, but they are going to stop only when one, or preferably both of you, learn initial lesson, why you came here for, what kind of qualities of your character you need to work on, what kind of features you need to learn from him or from her, because there is always something amazing and fascinating to learn from each other. For example, if that person has the qualities that you are missing, maybe he or she is very organized, very disciplined, very good with money, very good in the financial realm, and you are, for example, more creative, more artistic, but you are disorganized, maybe you're lazy, maybe you are not having a good understanding of time management. These are the qualities you need to learn from that person. And that's how it happens in karmic partnerships. Oftentimes, people have a very different qualities that they can share between each other. The difference attracts them, like I mentioned, but it also makes them, creates a field of possibilities to learn from one another. Or one person who is more like earthy, more like, as a matter of fact, more about the facts and science, he or she is missing the spiritual criteria, the spiritual outlook on life. They're fully materialistic. They believe what they can touch and see and nothing else, right? But then they meet the person who is maybe less earthy in their habits, but more out there, more providing more of a cosmic energies, channeling more of a sublime energies, and understanding more the other perspective of the world. So that's how materialism and spirituality has to go hand in hand, because both of them, just like yin and yang, both of them two hemispheres of the brain, logical and creative, and both of them are horsepower, because we cannot live only as a spiritual beings. We live in the material world, so we have to respect the material world rules, and vice versa. We cannot continue only thinking that this world is what we can touch and see and feel, because let's say the recent events such as fires in Los Angeles showed that you can lose material things, expensive big like houses, and one of the most expensive parts of the city that just got burned in one day. Literally, you can lose them in a matter of minutes or hours. So basically, do not be attached to material. Karmic partnerships are always hard in nature. Good news, they have the expiration date. Once you learn the lesson why you were even inclined to be together, that's when you have the opportunity to let go of each other and go your separate ways. Oftentimes it happens that karmic partnerships or husband wives from past lives, one of them is developing very fast and another one is either degrading or not developing fast enough, so they can no longer be on the same frequency. And it's all about the frequency. And those partnerships, even they led to marriage, even if there are children, nothing is going to stop the universe from pointing you to your right direction by making you finally start following your predestination, your life mission, unpacking your qualities that you came here for. And if one of the things, such as the partner who is not developing or whose views are very different from yours, whose understanding of the world and reality is obstacling you from doing what you set out here to do, universe is going to have thousands of ways to remove him or her out of your way so you can continue developing. You can uncover some truths, you can uncover some stories of very common practice, infidelity or inability of one or both of the partners to be committed to each other. And once that come to the surface, the relationship tends to split up anyways. And there's so many other things that can be also dramatic, also horrible, but also necessary for the people to continue moving forward. So there's thousands of things to split up the karmic partners who fulfilled their karma together. You know what I mean? Like there is no point for them. They already learned all the lessons. Sometimes the lesson is to protect your boundaries. Your lesson is literally to choose you and walk away. Walk away from the place where you are not respected, you are not valued, you are not cared for, or a lot of other things, a lot of other shortcomings that can be followed up by a karmic partner. Speaking of frequency, let's go on to the next. We have two more blocks to talk about kindred spirits or kindred souls and soulmates. Let's start with the kindred. Kindred spirits or kindred souls are not necessarily romantic in nature. This can be encounters when you literally meet someone who can be your best friend of the same gender. Yeah, it can be your guy friend if you're a guy, it can be a girlfriend. It can be even one of your family members, can be one of your cousins with whom you have a special connection that you share with no one else from the entire family. So the person can be both romantic and non-romantic. Meeting kindred spirit or kindred souls, I'm just going to show you the analogy that I have in my mind. You see this amethyst cluster? It's like a family, right? They're all together. Every single angle of it, every single part has the similar component, chemical, biological, energetical too. And here you are alone in this universe, just a part of it, and feels like nobody understands you. Feels like you're like nobody gets you. Nobody gets your sense of humor. Nobody gets your schedule. Nobody understands why you make certain choices or why you have such food or anything else. Any preferences, music preferences, food preferences, clothing preferences. Nobody gets you. You're here all by yourself. And then you meet someone who is just like you, They like the same music, they like the same foods, and that's what happens. It feels for you like you're home, like you landed on your planet where you're from. That's how it feels when you meet kindred spirit or kindred soul. Same goes for soulmates, but about those we're going to talk a little bit later. These clusters, yeah, they illustrate really beautifully what I'm trying to deliver you guys. That's why I prepared them for the video. So when you meet your kindred spirit, this is exactly how it feels. You feel home, you feel whole, you feel like you don't need to pretend to be whoever you're not. You feel for the first time in your life maybe that you can be totally yourself. And the version of you who you really are is the most beautiful version ever that you ever got to know within yourself. That version of you is authentic. That's what's most important. And the other party, the other member of your kindred soul community or your soulmate, they're going to get you. They're going to love you exactly the way you are because they're going to understand your whole essence. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to conform. You don't have to try to be liked. You are who you are. And they really love that about you the most. And they feel the same. Complete acceptance. Why a lot of relationships crumble and a lot of relationships end up in a breakup, in a divorce, in a split up because of the expectations. Because we marry somebody hoping they will change. That's a typical woman's thing. Women marry someone because they hope they'll be able to change him or they will change. But nobody owes you anything. Nobody has to be in your own image or in your liking. This is not an unconditional love. Speaking of unconditional love, that's the layer of love that opens up when your heart chakra opens. And we're going to touch upon it more when we step onto the last segment, which will be the soulmates. Or men, they marry other women because they hope they will not change and they will stay the same. They will be always young, forever beautiful, with a really nice tight skin, with no wrinkles and all that stuff. Ironic, right? But it's always the expectation. Yet the women always change. Always. They're more flexible in their development. And men rarely change because they're kind of like more rigid. They only change if they really want to change. You cannot force anyone to change or shape them into your liking unless they want to change themselves. With kindred spirit, with kindred soul, it's so amazing. Like sometimes you can go through so many hardships, through so many troubles and problems. And it seems like everything is just falls apart. But then you only need to hear their voice on the other line, or you only get the message from them, or you don't even have to communicate. You just see them in your social media feed, just doing them, just being them, just living their life. And because your frequency is so, it's the same. You guys are literally family, although you're not blood related, but you literally are energetic family. So you're so alike. You're on such exactly the same vibrational level that only any kind of small contact where you don't even have to talk to that person, all you gotta do is look at their photo or randomly see it online, like I said, in feed, or just read a message that you guys been talking before, and you just reread the message and you already kind of touch on that imprint of your somebody like you, somebody exactly like you, somebody who understands you. And guess what? Your mood goes from 0 to 100 real quick. You receive such a strong energy boost, such a strong support, and you understand that you're not alone. No matter what you go through, you are not alone. There is someone exactly like you who will understand you 100% and who will accept you for who you are. And this will give you such an immense power, such an immense support that will help you continue further and give you such a strong boost of energy and self-confidence and understanding that you are onto something. Whatever you're pursuing, you have to continue going for it. And this is how you understand if this situation or thing is yours or not. If it's yours, it would always give you energy. On to the soulmates. When people meet their soulmates, again, it can be karmic partnerships, it can be just the kindred soul, which is more of the non-romantic, but let's talk about romantic ones. When you meet your soulmate, first thing that happens is a very, very strong activation of your chakra levels. Very strong activation. That unpacking of your chakra levels happens to the point where you start feeling like you have not been alive before. You start breathing with a full chest. You start being super sensitive to energies. You start distinguishing energies around. For example, you recognize how different feels the child, like a little baby infant, from an old man or woman. You're gonna feel the difference. You're gonna feel the lightness and the heaviness, right? You're gonna be able to distinguish that. Activation of chakras also happens where you don't want to live the way you lived before. You want to be a better version of yourself, and that's the really good indication of meeting the soulmate who's very important to you. Soulmate who's very important to you, who is meant to stay in your life for extended amount of years, at least for a while. They will make you want to be a better version of you. And you are not going to want to have the bad habits you had before. You're not going to want to maybe lie or deceive people if you used to do it before. You're not going to want to cheat if you used to do it before. You're not going to want to have those shortcomings you used to have. That's why meeting both and karmic partners and soulmates and twin flames and kindred spirits, it oftentimes is escorted by the dark night of the soul. Dark night of the soul happens when your ego is losing its value. Your ego, like a snake that gets rid of the old skin, that's what happens to your ego. Your kundalini energy gets awakened, which is located in our base root chakra. It starts lifting up above the chakra. This whole, leveling up structure, and you start having so many crazy things like sleepless nights where you sit and analyze, who am I? Why did I do the things I've done before? I'm not that cool as I thought I am. Literally, people having the dark night of the soul is the period of unpacking, spiritual awakening, where you are alone with your shadow. You are together alone. You sit with yourself and you start understanding, wow, there's so much work to be done. I don't want to be no longer, I don't know, lazy or a liar or a cheater or whatever other shortcomings you could have had in the past. You want to get rid of them because you understand those programs are limiting. Those programs are not you. You want to be the best version of you. You want to do good. You want to help other people. It's like when person is religious, for example, or person is esoteric. Doesn't matter what religion, tradition you grew up from. There are certain postulates that are equal for everybody in every tradition. There are certain, commandments. Like you cannot do something that not corresponds those commandments if you're a religious person. Or if you're an esoteric person and you understand how the laws of universe work, you understand that you have to pay for everything. Nothing is free in this world. You have to pay for everything. And every mistake you make, you are going to pay for it eventually, early or late. And you do not want to do anyone harm. You do not want to lie. You do not want to steal. You do not want to deceive. You do not want to cheat. You do not want to harm any living being. Another thing is about diet. What happens oftentimes when you start encountering your kindred spirits, soulmates, twin flames, karmic partners, there can be certain adjustments in your diet. Your body naturally feels that it needs to get rid of some heavy layers of understanding, heavy programming that you were prone to be before. So your body naturally wants to have, at least for a while, to stick with a lighter diet that will allow your body to process things quicker. So oftentimes people become vegetarian for a certain amount of time or forever. Vegetarian or vegan, or simply start consuming lighter foods. Chakra levels are unpacking hardcore, really hardcore. Like those processes are, it's like a roller coaster of emotions. You feel so happy. You feel so amazing. You feel like you can fly. You feel like nothing can stop you. You're unstoppable. You can do anything. And you climb so high and then you drop down super low. The dark nights of the souls continue until the shedding, the last pieces of the ego will be like you're getting peeled like a onion or like a cabbage that has multiple layers. You're getting cleared out from all those negative programmings, guilt, shame, fear. Oh, those are classic scenarios. You go through the very first lowest vibration of the lowest vibration of fear, guilt, and shame. Those are inevitable steps for those who experience spiritual awakening after encountering their kindred souls or soulmates, twin flames, or karmic partners. That's another very strong and important criteria that almost always happens. Another criteria that happens almost nearly always when you meet your soulmate or a twin flame or even a karmic partner, there are third factors that doesn't allow you to come together right away. Third factors can be in form of another marriage, another partnership. Maybe he's in relationship when he meets you, or you are in relationship when you meet each other, or both of you are in different relationships when you meet each other and you have that crazy click that you never ever experienced with anyone before. This can be an obstacle. Number one. Number two classic obstacle, you live in two different cities or two different countries. Maybe you meet while traveling. Maybe you meet while, I don't know, online. Maybe you meet at the airport. The scenarios can be different. But the inability to be together right away, it's a classic example of karmic partnerships. You know why? And soulmates and twin flames and kindred spirits, because the old version of you that meets that old version of them, and you experience this amazing boost of love you never experienced before, you guys become like a naked wires. If you are connected right now in the state you're in, you're not gonna make it. You're gonna boom, boom. There's gonna be an explosion. You're gonna burn out in that passion the very same night, maybe, and you're not gonna be able to carry out the beautiful energy you're destined to experience upward. The love is not gonna make it towards them layers it's supposed to. And that sexual attraction is really strong. The magnetism is so powerful that sometimes you catch yourself that you can only be thinking about that other person literally all day long, sometimes even more, even during the nights. It happens because universe wants to show you the difference, how you feel with the, let's say, normal relationship when you're semi-happy and everything is normal, and how can you be feeling when you're meeting someone who is truly yours, right? But universe doesn't let you come together just yet, because there has to be a lot of work done before you can come together. Like the wire, that example of the naked wire, you have to be the wire that has a strong cover above it. So when the tension with that high amount of voltages both of you provide, and when you are coinciding, or where you are getting intertwined together, that energy is multiplied by thousands and thousands and thousands more units. So when two of you is 1 plus 1, it's 11,000, 1100 or more. So by the time you come together, you need to be fully ready how to process that big amount of love and voltage you experience energetically. In other 2 points, we're going to discuss the dreams and the astral realm, and we're going to discuss another dynamic which is very common. This is more for the twin flames, and you can find it online, like literally Google it. There's going to be one of the most pivotal points when twin flames meet, but it also happens for soulmates and karmic partners as well. Two of the people, one of them is a little bit more advanced, spiritually speaking, a little bit more developed than the other. So the other one has to catch up. Dynamic is the runner and the chaser. Doesn't matter who it is, a woman or man. One of the two, after experience such a strong, profound booster of love that they never had before, they start running away. They're so afraid. They're afraid because they do not know how to deal with it. They do not know how to cope with the big amount of emotion they're experiencing towards that person. So the safest thing will be to run. It's just like in our neocortex, or our reptile brain, we have those two programs. When the danger occurs, danger is something that we don't know, we either fight or we run away. So another counterpart is usually chasing, because they have some other issues from, let's say, the parents. We're not going to go into psychology here. It's not the topic of this video, but the chaser will be experiencing the necessity to catch up, to come together, because they will be seeking for approval from that other counterpart, right? They will be understanding that, oh, I'm not whole by myself. Instead of doing the work where they can feel happy and loved by themselves, invest in themselves, they start seeking for validation in another partner and chasing after them. But in either way, these are two polarities of the lack of knowledge and the lack of readiness to come together, because again, they're not whole yet. They have a journey to accomplish to become whole, to become the best quality of them. That's why one is running, another is chasing. Obstacle like living in a different city, classic example. Even the space we live in wants to take care of them, make sure they don't harm each other, they don't come together yet when they're not ready. They need some time to be apart, some time to develop, some time to maybe invest in their business, open their school, or go to school, or do a lot of other self-sufficiency work before they can come together and fully enjoy each other's being in their best flourishing era and version. Probably last point I want to touch upon this mysterious magnetic connections is the topic of sexuality will be good to bring up here, but it needs to be in a separate video because there is a lot to discuss. All I'm going to say is that a sexual energy between karmic partners, twin flames, soulmates, or kindred spirits, if they're on the romantic side, will be so much stronger than with the average person. Because not only the physical body and the physical centers of first 3 chakras will be getting familiar with each other, also the sublime bodies are going to be getting to know each other. They're going to have compatibility on higher levels as well, which is going to enhance the sexual experience. So intimacy between the two becomes much more intense, much more strong. The other party becomes much more desirable than any other. That you can be, let's say, if you're a guy and you met your soulmate, twin flame, kindred spirit, karmic partner, or your wife from past lives, but you just don't know about it. You can be surrounded by 10 out of 10, the most beautiful, I don't know, Victoria's Secret models, the most gorgeous women. And they can be jumping on your lap and getting ready for you to take them. But they're not going to be as attractive to you as your soulmate or karmic partner or wife from your past lives or that kindred spirit girl that you met. Those Victoria's Secret models are going to be nothing in comparison with her, because none of them, despite of the beautiful look and physical attraction, none of them will possess that same frequency that you have. Only she. And you will be wondering why, out of all these gorgeous women that surround me, I only think about her. I can only look in her direction. I only want to be with her. I only want to experience her. I only want to touch her, because nobody else can give you what your soul knows it can receive, that huge potential of beauty and energy that radiates from your true soulmate. None of those girls and Victoria's Secret models combined all together are capable to replicate. Nobody can replicate that. And on a soul level, we know that. And last but not least, a very strong pivotal point of understanding when you meet your soulmate, your kindred spirits, your twin flames, or your karmic partners would be the dreams, the astral realm. Oftentimes, before you meet them, you start seeing these people in your dreams. And you can be wondering, what is it? Like, who's that mysterious person that comes and kind of lures me in? And that mysterious person could be the imprint. It's like their phantom. They're announce themselves before you meet them. Sometimes it happens like that. In another cases scenario, it happens after, when you meet, when you already met with them in the physical. Let's say the circumstances of your meeting could be of all types of magic, all types of unusual, interesting, cool. That's gonna already kind of set the tone for the whole relationship, because you're gonna understand they're different. It's something different, something I've never encountered before. So they're already going to be very interesting to you, very magnetic. But you are going to experience the most profound astral travel with these people. In the astral realm, astral world is huge. There's so much happening. And awakened beings understand what I'm talking right now. If you are not in theme, you can skip this. You're not going to get it. But if you get it, you get it. How to distinguish a regular dream from the astral? Astral experience is so much more powerful, so much stronger, and it feels like that life is much more real than the one that we're living right here. After astral travel, you have a very strong boost of energy, or you can be actually petrified. You can be like laying in bed and try to like get back to your senses. Depends what kind of astral adventure you had. Some astral travels are very pleasant and amazing and beautiful, like where you fly, for example, or where you visit some interesting places on earth that you haven't been before, especially when you're together with your soulmate or twin flame or karmic partner or kindred soul. But sometimes you can reach the heavy astral, the very heavy plane, where which creates a devastating experience for your soul. Nevertheless, astral travel with your soulmates can be quite an adventure of its own. You together, the astral kind of shows you that you are on the same frequency, that your potential is so similar, that you have so many similarities in you, that before they make you meet in the physical, they start showing you the potential experiences you can be experiencing in the physical by showing you this in the other side of the spectrum, in the astral realm. That's why those people oftentimes they wake up and they can't believe that this is really happening, because they see so much beauty, so much potential, so much. It's like, it seems like it's unreal, but at the same time it feels more real than the physical world, than your skin that you can touch right now, right here. And They wonder why do I see that in my dream? Why does it happen? It happens because the universe wants to show you the angles of the reality you can experience once you start awakening. The gift in form of meeting your soulmate. Are you ready or not to accept it? Not everybody is ready. Not everybody can acknowledge that, because it is a true gift. And once you start comparing this connection to the other ones that you have, you're going to see the big, tremendous difference. You're going to see the boost of energy you receive, even if you have that person. Maybe you're not communicating, maybe you live in different cities, maybe you are not in touch, but traveling together in the astral plane allows you to have so much positive experience just from that encounter alone. You start realizing that you can move the mountains. The next day you feel so much energy. You feel like all your endeavors succeed, just having that person in the back of your mind. Or for example, if that person is very strong booster for you, because your energies are exactly the same, you're on the same wavelength. You can have the most horrible trash day at work, filled with challenges, filled with I don't know, crazy coworkers, or people try to put you down or sweep you off your equilibrium, try to make you lose yourself in this drama, in this all kinds of things. The only thing you have to hold on to, you can think about them, and this is going to set the tone for your whole day. You're going to understand that nothing can harm me, nothing can bring me down, nothing can sweep me off my feet, because I know who I am, and I know that my karmic partner, soulmate, twin flame, kindred spirit, whatever you call, whatever encounter exactly is that your case, you know that they're right there, and they're such a strong support for you. Anybody who wishes you harm, anybody who gossips behind your back, even anybody who does rituals on you, they're gonna be bounced, because there's nothing more powerful than the power of love that it's reciprocated between those two people. And that love and that attitude to each other, that adoration of each other, even at the distance, it's the most powerful weapon. It's the most powerful shield one can have. This is why it's very important to recognize exactly what type of connection you are having, and what kind of experience you're going through. This is the reason why I released this video, for those of you who are going through the same journey of spiritual awakening after encountering one of the mentioned above connections. Because when I had my first encounter, I had no idea what is happening to me. I was thinking that I'm literally going crazy, and there was so few information online, but I still was digging. I was still searching. I knew that something is happening that I need to be aware of. Luckily now there is much more information on that matter. I hope this was useful for you, my dear friends. And I hope that you, if you recognize yourself or your friends in the situations that I described, please don't hesitate to comment. I would love to read about your stories. I would love to read all about your encounters of your spiritual family, of your soulmates, of your twin flames, kindred spirits, or karmic partners. I want to hear all about it. For those of you who need a more detailed analysis of the situations you're in really any segment of life, including your personal life, of course, I would be gladly inviting you to have a one-on-one session with me online. I also do audio session format, which is I'm recording you everything you need to know in the audio, answer all of your questions with the help of tarot, with the help of astrology, the soul formula decoding. And if you want to learn how to read tarot cards, and not only, if you want to learn all the 22 archetypes, how is it connected with in the human connections, in the human psychology, if you would like to learn the basics of astrology, I am gladly inviting you all to join Archetypal Psychology course. The link is going to be down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please enjoy every aspect of your journey, even when it's hard. It means that you're going in the right direction. It's truly beautiful experience. And all of you who already had it will understand me very well right now. All these experiences are designed for you to step into your full power, open like a beautiful flower, blossom, and be the best version of yourself. Be who you're set out to be. I'll see you on another video. Thanks for watching.